Hey everyone, chapter 1024 is out, and surprisingly this will be another short review because there's not much substance to this chapter outside of some stuff concerning Yamato and her flashback, which was needed, but plot progression wise, not much happened, but I'll try my best to go as in-depth into this as possible, so like, share, and subscribe, and let's get to it. So basically, the beginning of the chapter is just the aftermath of the Straw Hats fight with the Tobiroppo. They're checking up on each other, seeing how they're doing, and getting a read on the overall situation. I must say that the very beginning of this chapter was extremely hilarious, with Usopp pretending to have Conqueror's Haki, but no, it's Big Mom's, and surprisingly, it's knocking people out that are like way away from her. But obviously that has to do with the fact that she's fighting Law and Kid right now, and that's one of the fights that we still need to get to, and I'm most curious about how that will conclude. But yeah, other than that, we still have other fights to get to, like Raizo versus Fukurokuju or Killer versus Hawkins, and I'm pretty sure that Oda is using this fire that Orochi started as a means to get everybody in one place. For what though is a completely different question. My guess is that Luffy will make it to the rooftop and fight Kaido there, and eventually at some point he's gonna knock him down where everybody else is, and then it'll be like a super 1v50 brawl with Kaido, and that's how they're gonna take him out. I think that could be very epic. After that, we cut to a bit of Yamato versus Kaido again, and I must say Kaido here is so ruthless. And if you thought this was bad, you already know what happens later on in the flashback. I did not expect Kaido to be that indiscriminate against his own child. Which would make sense. This is essentially a war. You chose that side to be on, and you are my enemy. It doesn't matter who you are. I will fight you and I will kill you if that's what it means to win. I just love Kaido's mindset in this. And I don't really know why Yamato is so surprised that Kaido is trying to kill her, especially after we know what happens in her flashback. Like, you chose to be on Luffy's side, and the Alliance is trying to kill Kaido and liberate Wano. What do you think's gonna happen? That he's just gonna go easy on you and say, oh no, you're my kid, I won't kill you or something? You're trying to overthrow him, so he will fight back. Like, that's as simple as that. This kind of reminds me of the Garp and Ace situation, where Ace chose the life of a pirate, so he should be ready to face the consequences that come with that. And the same for Yamato, she needs to be prepared for the consequences of going against her father. But yeah, anyway, after that we get a flashback of Yamato, and she is just the cutest little cinnamon bun that I've ever seen. Like, seriously, it takes another level of evil to hurt something so cute. And people want to talk about Kaido respecting pronouns. Now do you see how stupid that sounds? During Yamato's flashback, we didn't really get any development that I wanted for her character. Hopefully we get that when she drops the whole Odin act, but this flashback mostly served as a way to get more emotionally invested into her goals and what she wants to do. And it also served as a way to introduce us to Zoro's father, or supposed father, Shimotsuki Ushimaru. I really love the subtle parallels or contrasts we're getting with Ushimaru and Zoro here, where in Zoro's first introduction into the series, we see him tied up and ready to be executed, while during the whole thing, he's built up as this bloodthirsty monster. And then this little girl comes up to him and gives him a rice ball or onigiri. And in Ushimaru's case, his first actual appearance into the story is him in this cave, free to do wherever he wants, and he's built up with these samurai to be monsters, and instead they give this rice to this little girl. Do you see the parallels here? Zoro, tied up, little girl comes and gives rice. Ushimaru, free to do whatever he wants, gives rice to tied up little girl. Another really interesting thing that was revealed here was that Yamato actually has Conqueror's Haki. Now, being the daughter of an emperor and everything, it really shouldn't come as a surprise for her to have Conqueror's Haki, and just like Ace, it seems like she used it and unlocked it at a very young age. If you remember in the ASL flashback, Ace also utilized Conqueror's Haki around the age of 10, I think. Now with this recent revelation, I'm kind of conflicted on how I'm supposed to feel about her joining the crew. On one hand, she says that she wants to save Wano and go out to sea, like we see in this flashback reiterated again, but having 3 Conquerors on the crew feels a little too much to me, especially since it seems like Yamato can also use advanced Conquerors as well, which means that Zoro, Luffy, and Yamato all have advanced Conquerors, leaving Sanji behind, which kind of messes with the dynamic of the crew, I think. Not to mention that Yamato also read Oden's journal, which kind of contradicts with Luffy's entire aspirations of not wanting to know anything, wanting to go there and finding things by himself. He doesn't want to know anything, and if someone on his crew knows this information, it kind of defeats the purpose of the journey, doesn't it? However, on the other hand, we also had this leaked image of these figures that are coming out featuring all the Straw Hats, and for some reason, Yamato is included in them. So I don't even know what to make of that. Did Toei or this figure company just completely spoil manga readers? Let me know. But going back to what I said about the samurai and them being free and everything, I feel like they've been free for quite a while. It's not like Kaido just released them right now to fight over this food. I feel like they've been free for this whole time. We know what Kaido's character is like. He likes breaking people's spirits, he likes making them obey him, and I think that's exactly what happened here. The samurai lost their spirits to fight, but after, reading Oden's journal, they have this fire of rebellion light inside them once again. And that's why, right after reading Oden's journal and knowing everything and hearing his words, that they were able to stand back up, raise their sword, and go on and fight Kaido. I think that's what gave them the push to go over the edge. I love how this also gives a bit more insight into Kaido's character. Like, this man does not give a shit. He gives these people swords and lets them go free, knowing how dangerous they are. He's basically like, yeah, I'm kind of unkillable, and I want to fight. You could fight me. You could try. You could rebel. You're gonna die though, but hey, you could try it. Kaido is just really fucking badass. I love him. Yamato's entire situation is actually a reference to the legend of Amaterasu and the Amana Iwato cave, but I'm not gonna go into that because there's not really much to talk about other than some references here or there. But if you really want to know more about it, I'll put a link in the description box below that'll take you to an article and it talks about it. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention that the way I'm sure that this is in fact Ushimaru is because on his back is the Shimotsuki symbol, and he's the only or the most prominent Shimotsuki that we've seen that was talked about. So this has to be him, it can't really be anybody else. And that brings us to the end of the chapter where we see Yamato and Kaido clash clubs with Thunderbagwas, and really there's not much else to say here. So that pretty much does it for the chapter. Overall, it was good. It gave us some emotional investment into Yamato's goal and aspirations and everything. Not much for her character. I hope we get that soon. But yeah, I think it was an okay chapter. It got us introduced to Ushimaru as well. But other than that, not much to say. So I'll give this chapter rating a 7 out of 10. Enjoyable nonetheless. And there we go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel for more future content like this. And I will see you all very, very soon. This is Soul, signing out.